Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Four Quarter Show. I am your host for the evening, Melo. Once again, I am without my other half, Align, who unfortunately he ran into I'm just gonna say this: Florida has many faults. This past 2 weeks ago, he was supposed to take the bar on the 19th. On Sunday, the night before this, at night, they sent an email out that their system was going down, and now they postponed the test to October. So I'm still not sure when I'm going to get my co-host, but everyone out there, please show him love, support. No, it's not easy trying to study for this test, and I'm sure that, well, I know he would like to come back and be here on the Four Quarter Show. So with that, I am having another special guest host. And this man, he's known as the Lyrical Miracle. He's known as the Larest of Bears. You all know him as Larry.
What up? What up? What up? Damn, get applause and everything.
Yes.
It's good that he won because I'm happy, Larry, right now.
Yes, I was actually a little bit.
If they would have lost, they would have lost. It would have just been like everything thrown all over the place.
I was a little bit worried that, especially at the end, that they were going to lose. I was like, oh, man.
Dude.
I wonder how it's going to be if he comes on the show.
Dude, that would have been
livid.
That would have been one for the ages, bro. But you know what got us through it? A little Santeria, Santero rum. Always gets the job done.
And a little bit of the Milka, that
Milka can't fail, man. We got my boy Carlos here. He was watching the game and he's giving up diabetes just for Heat victories. Man is willing to put his
life on the line.
His health on the line. Just he doesn't care about diabetes, as long as he get that W.
That dub. That's the most important thing. That dub. But all right, guys. So before we get started, I'm going to explain the Four Quarter Show for anyone tuning in for the first time, and if it is, hopefully it won't be the last. So the Four Quarter Show is a sports show where we talk about topics. We have 4 quarters. Each quarter is 12 minutes long. We have a halftime in which we have some predictions throughout the week. Whoever has the most correct is the halftime champion. As of right now, I won't give any spoilers. Before today's show, I was still the reigning, defending, and undisputed halftime champion. I'm undefeated. So we'll find out a little bit later. Then we also have.
Can I win?
Oh, well, we'll see.
Can I take the victory from you?
Well, let's see, because I gave you some choices yesterday. So then we also have an overtime in which we talk about anything that is not sports related. So it can be movies, television, games. It can be what's going on in our lives today. As you know, right now we're living in some crazy times. So with that said, Lair Bear, are you ready for?
Let's do it. I'm ready. All
right, let's get the banner up. Get the timer going, and in 3, 2, 1. Quarter number 1, we're going to start off with what we just teased, the NBA, and we're going to recap this lovely Heat game that we just saw, in which it was a nail biter to the very end.
Oof. That thing had me sweating, boy. I don't think I've ever seen. Have you ever seen a game with free throws with double zeros on the clock?
Mm-mm.
This is the first time I've seen it.
That was the first time I saw it. And then that first free throw that Jimmy Butler.
Oh my God.
I was like, no way.
I thought it was like a penalty kick in the World Cup. Like you see Tyler Hero and Olynyk in the background like this, holding hands. They were all doing a circle behind Jimmy. There's nobody in. I was like, at least, make it seem like a regular free throws. Put people in the lane and everything.
Yeah,
but this guy was out there in an island.
And Giannis was looking at him at the underneath the rim. He was just there like, come on, is this guy going to miss it? And
I didn't even notice that he was there.
Yeah, he was on the out, like sitting down, like underneath the basket there, just like looking at Jimmy. And I was just like, oh, Jimmy's got to make this. And he's come up clutch the last 2 games.
That should have never. Jimmy had a rough game, though. Jimmy had a rough game.
But he was doing elsewhere, which is what he's been doing throughout the whole season, where he might not score you 30 points a game, but he's getting you those assists. He's getting you key rebounds, key steals, Like I think right, well in that fourth quarter alone, he had what two key steals there at the end. He had the one
Yes,
where he just reached behind and bam,
dude, all
to
the way
start off the fast
across.
break.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
huge. The
So
thing is that that shot, that the Middleton shot, man, which by the way I called it before the series started. You know, we for everybody that doesn't know, we have a chat there where David just kind of comes in and out every once in a while. But David is witness. I called it. Middleton was going to be the X factor in this series, and this guy has lit it up the first two games. And I was so scared because I'm like, just get Giannis the ball and foul him because they were up by three. So you foul him at best, he's gonna make two, and at worst, like he's gonna probably would miss one. But then when they get Middleton the ball, I'm like, just stay still. And Goran did just that. I could not believe that foul, dude. I could not believe it. And then I was like, hey, tit for tat, you're gonna call that foul on us. They're gonna call that foul on them because honestly, I didn't see too much contact there for the Jimmy foul. But what's fair is fair.
it's
So
true,
I was
and there
glad.
was
I was
actually a
glad.
lot of those calls today on shooters. Like I was surprised at how many. Like I mean, even the Iggy one, ended up being a flagrant foul where he was shooting the three. Kyle Korver comes to close out, and he ends up rolling his ankle. He lands on top of Korver, and that hopefully he's okay.
Dude,
That'd
hopefully,
be
man. I don't know
really,
that thing. He's
really
old too, so those ankles. Don't talk to me about ankles. I got 13 sprains of mine. That thing's gonna take a while to heal, man, for his old bones. So I'm
yes.
hoping he can come back.
So yeah,
Hopefully the travel doesn't get to him.
hopefully. I mean,
They're coming back home.
yeah.
They're just gonna switch sides of the court.
So let's talk a little bit. Obviously the Heat, they had a commanding lead of this game the entire way, and then they at the second half they started. I don't know if it was getting lazy or getting complacent, but then the Bucks were just there chipping away, chipping away. 19 seconds left. The Heat are up by six, and I mean, I thought I was like, okay, should be safe. I'm here setting up the equipment as I'm watching the game, and then I keep stopping because right there in the 19 seconds, it's where they mess up the inbound pass, and these guys get it and they score, and I'm like, shoot, all right. And then they're down by the three, and then you get the tragic foul that
Yeah,
was just
that was
he
horrible.
literally
That was
went straight up.
a botched possession. Either way, they should have taken a timeout and advanced the ball. The thing that comes to my mind every time I see a 6 point lead late in the game is what we did. So every time I see a 6 point lead late in the game, I'm like, it's never safe, especially with around 20 seconds left. 19, 20 seconds left. It's like, hey, it's not over, man. It's not over. And your boy John is like, oh, let's put the dagger in them. I'm like, dude, we gotta stay focused because it's never over.
It
And
isn't.
especially with those guys, like they're lethal, dude. And I was
No,
so scared. I was like, if we go to overtime, I didn't think we were gonna pull it out, to be honest with you, because they were
I,
just
I didn't think so. I think they had the momentum, and especially with that, like blowing a 6 point lead in 19 seconds, I feel like that would have That's a different series if we're looking at it. Then we're 1-1. Milwaukee's going in to game three feeling really good that we were up by what 10 at one point,
yeah.
and they drained that deficit and then they beat us.
They started to think that we're Orlando and they can take four straight from us. Oh, they beat us the first one like Orlando did. Now we're gonna take four straight from us. So this is a big, big statement. And now they're gonna get tense. Now the next game they're gonna be like, this is a must win. Now those free throws get a little bit harder for Giannis, right? There's a lot more pressure. I know that guy's been shooting free throws nonstop since last game because this game he was nailing them. So that guy was shooting nonstop. But now next game that added pressure comes in there. The only bad thing about this is that if he loses to us, then now I'm not so sure that he's gonna come to us. So I thought Giannis was gonna be a surefire signing for us, but
You don't
uh,
think so? I think if
I don't
anything, they
know.
better.
He's gonna pull. Is he gonna pull a KD?
He could.
I don't know.
I
But you know
mean,
what?
you're right. Maybe he might go and be like, you know what? I'm gonna join the team to be able to beat that team.
I don't
So
know if he'll do that. The thing is that I don't know if he'll do that. Look at this. Possibly MVP, probably MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. He has last year he got beat out too after winning the first two. He gets beat out. Then this year against what people think is a much lesser team, if he gets beat, I don't know that he will come to us. I don't know that. That's got to take a hit on his pride.
it might, or it all depends on what he wants to do. Does he want to take the Melo route where he wants the money, Doesn't really care about the championships. If they come, they come. Or is he gonna go ring chasing and do a Kevin Durant and LeBron James?
Well, Pat Riley's there, so that man can make anything happen. He's in the bubble right now, so you best be sure that guy's making moves.
The Godfather's there. He's watching.
Making moves. That man's making moves.
All right. So then let's predict the rest of the series then. How do you think this is
I,
gonna go? Game three.
I
Do you
mean,
think
as much as
it's
I
a
like
must
this,
win for Milwaukee?
yeah, it's a must win. As much as I want to say that it's going to be a heat sweep, I just don't think it's going to be that easy. Like they're just going to come out, they're just going to come out full fledged, like balls to the wall. Like these guys are just going to give us everything they got, which could work in our favor because if Giannis comes out, I thought that this game he was going to come out really forceful, and then he could draw some fouls. This guy draws a lot of offensive fouls, so if he does that, then we got a shot. But all in all, I think that at best we could take this in 5 or 6. All in all, I think we could take this in 5 or 6. To be honest with you, that's my
Uh,
prediction for it.
I think we can. It's all gonna be on. Like I said, I feel like with a lot of sports, it's all about the momentum. So if Milwaukee, it all depends how they're feeling after this game. If they think, yeah, man, like just defeated, we got to come out game three and just put the nail in the coffin. Basically, we have to. I feel like for us, it's just as much as a of a must win as it is for Milwaukee, just so that we don't give them that life.
The good sign for us is that Jimmy had a horrible game, right? Iggy was out late. One of our best defenders is out late. We didn't even have him. Um, Nunn is playing like absolute crap. I don't want to see that guy in the court again. I've been calling for DJJ instead of him in the rotation, and I'm hoping that now Spo gets it. And I know you're a big supporter of Spo, so uh, so if Spo gets it, he's gonna take Nunn out of the rotation, leave DJJ in the rotation, and then we should be good. But I don't know, man.
Well,
We gotta come out.
look at what Jones Jr. did when he came in today. He was there getting the rebounds. He was
Dude, it
playing
was
great
awesome.
defense, getting blocks. Like it was like why hadn't he
Awesome.
been playing? And
It's
it
awesome.
goes
I
it
don't
goes
want to
back.
say I told you so,
I know,
but I told
I
you
know you
so.
must have been in the chat. You're like, why is he still not in? And
Dude,
then
I
he
was
comes
screaming
in
out there.
and
You don't
bam,
hear my voice? You don't hear my voice? I was screaming out there. I was like, Potter man, what are you
he,
doing?
well, he came in and then bam, there it was. The blocks coming in clutch. So I mean, like I
Dude, and
said, Eric Spoelstra.
Giannis takes the biggest steps I've ever seen in my life. How does this guy take 2 steps from half court to the basket? I don't know.
Well,
This man goes
you heard what
one
he
step
said,
this
right?
way, one step that way, and then he's at the basket.
They
How does
asked
that even
him.
happen?
They asked him how many steps would you need to be able to make a layup? I think it was from like the 3-point line or something like that, or like half or like mid court some shit. And he's like, "Oh, I just need 2."
It's
And
ridiculous.
it's just boom,
This guy's got
flies.
hockey sticks, like 2 hockey sticks together for legs. That's what he's got. And he could just go this way. He's at the 3-point line on the right side. This way, he's at the 3-point line on the left side. And then he goes middle. It's like, and they always give him one extra step. So of course he's gonna get everything. They just gotta prevent him from going downhill, man. This guy, when he starts going downhill, he's unstoppable. So if you can build that wall, like everybody says, that you're gonna build that wall, and you can just slow him down, so now they need to go through their offense. That's gonna give us a big shot. But if we get this third one, then that's it. It's done.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't think that we're gonna get the third one. To be honest with you, as much as I want it, I don't think that we're gonna get it. I'm gonna fight for it. I'm gonna root for it. I'm gonna get pissed if they don't get it. But I think that they're gonna take the third one, and then it's gonna become a series, and it's either gonna go, that 5 or 6 games. And even if we win in 5, I think that every game is from now on it's gonna come down to the wire.
so. You think Heat in 6,
I'm gonna say Heat in 5,
Heat in 5?
because just tradition. I'll say Heat in 5.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna put a bold prediction out there.
Don't tell me you're gonna go for the Bucks.
No, I'm gonna say
I will
Heat
call
in,
you DA for sure. If you say Bucks, I'm gonna call you DA.
I'm gonna say Heat in 4. I'm gonna say that they're
Oh,
gonna take
that
care
is
of business in
bold.
game 3 and completely just what
So
is it?
that's not cocky Heat fan talking, right?
It's always cocky Heat fan talking. Come
That's
on
not
now.
cocky Heat fan talking.
You
Hey,
know
I
how
love it. If it happens, I love it. But so we should just start talking about Celtics Raptors then.
well. I think they were saying this is the first time that both the number 1 and the number 2 seed are both 0-2 in the
That's
series,
true.
which
That's
is
true.
insane. And I think, man, the bubble has a lot to do with it,
It's
man. There's
unpredictable.
no
The
there's
thing,
no home court advantage. You don't
nothing.
know what you're gonna get.
All these players, when you don't play, when you don't have to play in the other team's gym, all these players that are average players, they become great. That's the thing. These players are going to play above their standards. Those players that would shrink in the moment because of all that massive yelling. Can you imagine how much yelling would have been in Indiana? Indiana's fans are crazy. So
Oh yeah,
those two games in Indiana would have been insane. And then now here late in the game with all that pressure, it would have been crazy. This would have technically been a home game for the Bucks,
yep.
right? So that crowd would have been going insane for all those free throws late in the game. Bam made a few free throws there, and Bam is not the greatest free throw shooter ever, but he was making those late in the game. Does that change? Does that dynamic change if we're actually playing in another team's gym and you got to deal with all that pressure? So the fact that we don't have to deal with that makes it so that it's unpredictable. Right now, it's unpredictable, and the fifth seed, has a chance to win. Somebody like Nuggets or the Heat, they have a
That
chance to
was
win.
that was quarter number one.
My God, we gotta go. We gotta drag that on to quarter number two.
We absolutely are. Before we do, want to come out to the comments, and we have Eric watching us.
This is a COVID survivor, guys. Give it up for COVID,
Yeah.
COVID survivor. Black Lives Matter.
And it's Black Lives do matter. So
I agree. I
thank you,
agree.
Eric, for watching. Appreciate it. Hope it's not the last time. Don't need to.
What do you mean by that? You think he's gonna die or something? Oh,
No,
you
I mean
mean
last time he
okay?
watches the show. Give
I
him a
thought
little
you were
shout
saying he
out.
was gonna die or something. Okay.
No. Hope you're doing well, Eric. Actually. All right, so we're gonna jump in now into quarter number two, and we're gonna continue on with some NBA talk. In 3, 2, 1, bam. All right, so uh did a lot of Heat talk right now. So and we predicted what the series is. So let's talk a little bit elsewhere. So the NBA, because they were in the bubble that we were just talking about, they had the bubble awards as well as they have the regular season awards. So I'm gonna go to the coach of the bubble was Monty Williams.
Hmm.
Agree or disagree?
I gotta agree, man. You did a good
Uh,
job.
he did. And the
Good
bubble
job.
MVP is here's where
Don't tell me
I
TJ Warren. Don't tell me who was it, because I didn't check this. Who was it?
the bubble MVP was
Luca.
Damian Lillard.
Oh, Dame Dollar. I gotta
And
admit that.
I'm sorry, nope,
No,
nope.
you're
I
gonna
don't
give
think
it to Luca. Who do you give it? Who are you gonna give it to?
I'm gonna give it to Devin Booker.
Oh, Devin
He
Booker. That's great.
showed
It's that
out
the thing is that
every
he didn't
single.
advance. He
No,
didn't
but I mean
advance.
they were almost there
Yeah,
to
yeah.
advance. They went. They were the only undefeated team in the bubble. If we're just going bubble wise, I think Devin Booker was way more valuable than Damian Lillard was.
That's true because his team is garbage. His team is garbage. If it wasn't for him, I gotta admit, maybe
And
it's that. Maybe it's that. Maybe
he
it's
got
that
a bunch of
Kardashian
bums,
slash Jenner curse, man. He's got to stop messing
maybe.
with those girls.
But I'm saying
The
it
only.
wasn't like he played bums. He beat the Clippers on a buzzer beater.
Yeah, he
Like,
did. He's gonna come out with the fury next year if he can just let go of this Jenner girl. Maybe he misses out on that curse. The only good thing about all these NBA
gonna
players
cut him
dating
quick.
the only good thing about all these NBA players dating these the Jenners and the Kardashians is that now I can talk to my girl about basketball because I'm like, yo, that's James Harden. She's like, yeah, I know who James Harden, Chris Humphries, I know who that is.
Chris Humphries.
Ben Simmons, yeah, I know who that is. Lamar Odom, Tristan Thompson. She's like, she knows the whole league, dude. Never before in my life have women known so much about basketball. They know the whole NBA. It's
Oh, that's
crazy.
hilarious. I feel like we got to do for a future show uh, a Kardashian all-star list.
Oh,
Like
James Harden's
who
got to be at the top of that. That guy
yeah,
got saved.
I mean,
That guy
I
got
don't know.
saved.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, you have also Lamar Odom. He could
Yeah.
be there,
Poor Lamar Odom almost gave up his life.
bro.
Like, dude.
Lamar. All right, so then now we'll go into the actual, NBA awards. As of right now, they've only given out, I believe it's two, which is Defensive Player of the Year, which Giannis won. He went up against Anthony Davis and Rudy Gobert. I have no problem with Giannis winning this.
Yeah, I
He was
don't.
playing out of his mind.
Nasty.
We have Coach of the Year, which was Nick Nurse. He was up against Billy Donovan and the coach from the Bucks, Mike Budenholzer.
Who
Uh,
knows?
and
He was
again,
too nervous. I like my coaches to look cool under pressure, man.
I think I completely agree with what is it with Nick Nurse winning too. He took the Raptors team.
you're not gonna give Spo some votes for coach of the year, Bubble.
No, I mean if I would have given my vote to Jimmy Butler because he's the real coach of the team, but
Oh, okay,
that's
okay,
otherwise.
okay.
Uh, but yeah, I agree, Nick Nurse. You know, I feel like no, I didn't think Toronto was going to do this well. I didn't think they were going to be the number 2 seed.
Let
And
me ask you, who do you think is your top five bubble players? Who's your top five? Because I got a list
are we talking
all
before
over.
playoffs?
No, no, before, after, and before the playoffs, all around. Top five bubble players.
So Devin Booker,
He's
I'll
on my
say
list.
Dame,
He's on my list too.
James Harden,
On my list as well.
Kawhi,
He's not on my list.
and I'm gonna throw him out there, even though we made him look so lousy, and that's T.J. Warren.
Yeah, he's on my list, even though I hate it because he's fake. That guy's faker than a $3 bill. But I was gonna say T.J. Warren because I don't know where this is one of those type of players that when he doesn't have to deal with the outside forces, he shines.
It's true.
This is the type of guy that in an empty gym he can play lights out, but when you put him under pressure and you blow him a little kiss, then he starts to shrink on the moment. But the guy that you left out, man, that I think is just a revelation, Luca, man.
Oh, you're right. I mean, Luca did play really, really good.
Luca just had a ridiculous, and he had a bunch of injuries that he was battling with his ankle and stuff. Like Luca played lights out. Later on, now Jamal Murray has been playing good as of late, and that guy is the truth. Uh, but I gotta say, Luca impressed me the most in this bubble, man. That
No, you're
shot that
right.
he
But
made.
I mean, I was honestly, I've been loving Luca, so that's why I think maybe that's why I didn't think of him, just because if I go back to like the regular season, he was playing out of his mind, man. Triple dub, just doing it all on the court,
Yeah,
and he's still so young. That's the craziest thing.
okay, it's crazy. But he's been playing since he's like 7 years old, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Over there, they play on. It's like they're 7 years old and they're out there balling against like 36-year-olds and stuff like that. So this guy's been playing
He, he's
against tougher
he's like
competition all the time.
he's like 21, and over there he was like a 13-year vet.
So let me ask you something. That Morris swipe, what'd you think of that? When he just swiped him, raked him across the face.
It was intentional.
That was intentional,
It
man.
was intentional for
Morris,
sure.
he's
For
a
sure.
dirty player. Dirty player.
And he should like the ankle one. I was like, it didn't really look too intentional. Like it looked like he ran up to him and then like, when I mean he was running to him. It's not like he was walking to him and then stepped on him. He was running to him. So I can see him like, I mean, I've done that to you plenty of times playing
Oh
basketball.
no.
And I
What you
don't
do
do
is
it
that you put your foot where my ankle's gonna be, so
And then
that then my ankle goes like this, right? And then you're like, oh my god, I'm just playing defense. Offensive foul. Offensive foul.
I got to take that charge. But you're right. See, I don't do that intentionally. So like that one, I don't believe was intentional. But then for sure, the swipe was definitely intentional.
Yeah. That's what you do when somebody's frustrating you.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
you do to me.
Anyway, we have one more award that has been given out, and that is and here's where I think we might get a little bit of disagreement. It's the most improved player, which Brandon Ingram won. And he went up against Luca and Bam. I'll go with you. Because I know
What
how
do
you
you
feel.
think? Dude? How are you gonna give a most improved player? How are you gonna give the award to a player? How are you not gonna give an award to a player that wasn't even starting last year? This guy wasn't even starting. He wasn't even in the cognitive
He started
mind.
a couple games when, Spo decided, hey, my $20 million player, I'm just gonna play him 12 minutes a game
Don't
because
even
that's
talk about that guy,
great.
man. Don't even
Great.
talk. That guy's a clown.
What are you telling me?
That
He was
guy,
doing great. He frustrated LeBron that first game.
dude, that guy's a clown. All he does is get blocks, and he tries to say he plays defense,
He
and he
does.
doesn't play. He doesn't play defense. He just camps out there for blocks. Real defense is stepping up, switching, playing pick and rolls. This guy's just camping out there, and then he gets blocks, and then he thinks that he's playing good defense.
You
Nah,
think?
man, that's not defense. Defense is being able to guard 1 through 5, which your boy who should have won most improved player, he can do. That guy can guard anybody. He can guard anybody.
Luca?
Bam should have gotten that award, and everybody knows it. This guy makes that offense run. This guy is playing as a point center. They're playing offense through him. right? And he didn't
What?
even play last year. So how was that for improvement from not even really playing last year, not starting to now this year? They're running offense through him. He's an incredible defensive player, incredible assist player. He does all the little things. Like how
You're
is
right.
that not? How is that? Even Jimmy Butler says this guy makes us go.
I'm
This
not
is.
saying that he didn't deserve to be number two, but I think Brandon Ingram was way more improved than him.
I
He
think
had,
Brandon Ingram should have lost the award just for being high on TNT when they gave him the award. This guy was like, this guy was like this. So
of
right
course,
there, they should have just stripped him of the award.
they're not testing for it, so it's just like, of course you're
Yeah,
gonna
they're
take
just
Brandon
going
down.
crazy. They're just
Exactly.
going crazy.
So I disagree. I don't think Bam should have won it. He was good at two. He did great. He got nominated, but I think Brandon Ingram had a way better season. If you have to collect it all, you can't just take a little sample size. And he didn't get COVID, unlike Bam.
Yeah, but that guy's
So
a hogger. Brandon Ingram is a hogger. First of all, he benefited from the fact that he didn't have the real alpha dog there the whole year. So he just took all those points.
but
Bam
imagine
has
how they're gonna play now. Like I feel like that's a team to watch.
no that team. I've been saying it all this whole time. That team is going to be even when they got to the bubble. I thought they had a long shot of making it, but I thought that team was going to be scary with Zion. But they had him on a minutes restriction. But now next year they're going to have all these guys back. That team is definitely a team to watch. I would be shocked if they don't perform really well next year.
I
Not
hope
because
so.
of Ingram, but
Come
because
on,
of
Zion.
Zion. Zion, man,
All
they
right,
got
so
a
let's
great
look
team.
at since we're talking about Zion, let's go into what we think should be the winners for these next three awards that have not been given out. So the first one is going to be Rookie of the Year. We have John Morant from the Grizzlies, Zion from the Pelicans,
You could stop. You
and
could
our
just
own
stop it.
and our own. Yeah, I'm going to name him just because he's our it's a his home team. Kendrick Nunn from the Miami Heat.
This
I
guy has he has been he has a shamed me the way that he has played it because I was calling for him in last round. I was saying, look, they got to put none in because we're gonna need him in the next round because the Bucks just they clog the paint and you need guards that can drive in and we don't have a lot of those. We got shooters, even though your boy might say that we don't got shooters. That's what we got, but we don't got guys that break down the defense. Really, all we got is Goran, Tyler to some extent, and none was that other guy. So I was pleading for him to get some time. He did, and now he's just pooping the bed, dude.
well,
He's
yeah,
playing
he
like crap.
started off well. I think him being number three, it makes sense to me. But I mean, for my pick is Ja. That's where
Yeah,
my
of course.
vote.
That's a no-brainer. This guy is he's amazing. He plays amazing, and I thought it was so good for him to get that experience of having to play those games against Portland.
Man,
That
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 oh he
playoff
showed
intensity.
off in that
Yeah,
what elimination whatever game.
I
He
love that. By the way, they got to keep that. Even when this thing goes back to normal, they should
think
keep that.
always if the ninth seed is four. I mean,
They should
I
always
feel like
keep
it
that.
makes sense for like the West because their teams are always stacked and always have that one that might miss
Yeah,
out. But the East, I mean, our eighth and seventh seed are always under 500. So it's like,
the Wizards playing a.
yeah. So I mean, who knows? Maybe you get the Knicks in the playoffs that way.
I don't think so. I think you would have to extend it to 10 teams, 10 or 12
All 16 teams.
all 16 teams, then maybe they get a shot. That's like Venezuela trying to make the World Cup. They're gonna have to extend how many. They're gonna have to extend how many teams can make it to the World Cup.
Well, they're extending it, so you
They
never
are. They
know.
are. Hey, I'm gonna be rooting for my boys.
All right, so let's go quickly through this. Next is the six man award. We got Montreal Harrell from the Clippers.
Montrezl, yeah,
We have Dennis Schroeder from OKC,
he's a
and,
dog.
and we have Mr. Six Man himself, Lou Williams from the Clippers.
I'm gonna have to give it to Lou, man. That guy's perennial. He's perennial. I'm gonna have to give it to Lou and all his wives, all 15 of his girls get the award with. The guy's
Oh,
like
we just finished
like a
quarter two, but we'll do this quick.
he's like
So
a Mormon or something. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Lou.
I'll give it to Lou too. He's the only one that gets away with going to a strip club for food in the middle of a pandemic. So
Whoever knew that Eddie Griffin would have so much. This guy looked like Eddie Griffin from from the movies. Who knew he was such a player, man?
bro, it's just more legend. And then the most treasured award, we have the MVP of the league. We have Giannis from the Bucks, LeBron James from the Lakers, and James Harden from the Rockets. I'm gonna automatically eliminate James Harden because he's not winning MVP.
That's true.
Where are you going with this?
If you say throughout the season, right, who's the most valuable player, I'm gonna give it to Giannis because he was. But if you say who's the most valuable player right now, I'm gonna have to give it to LeBron, man. He's the most valuable player. Obviously, the award is not built like that. So as far as the award goes, I'm gonna give it to Giannis. But this is where you really see who your MVP is, and it's showing. When you build a wall against some guy and he can't think outside the box and he can't find solutions for it, that's who shows you when when the rubber hits the road, who's really got it. But he's gonna get the award just because he was the most valuable player throughout the majority of the season. So I would give it to him.
I completely agree. I feel like that's the thing. You kind of have to like stop and be like, okay, so I'm gonna look at what he did throughout the season. You can't look at what's going on now in the playoffs because then, yeah,
True.
I mean, LeBron James would have not won how many of these beforehand because he
Yeah.
performed not well in the playoffs. So I'm gonna give it to Giannis. He'll go back to back and now be Defensive Player of the Year and reigning MVP at the same
That's the
time.
thing. Like, look, this guy, and real quick before we wrap up this quarter, he's gonna have Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same year.
Yep.
Jordan and the Dream, Hakeem, did that. So what would his legacy be if he gets kicked out again by the Heat? I just love it. I
He's
just
still
love it.
young though, so like he can. It's just like LeBron. I mean, LeBron. It took him how many
But
years to finally win?
do you think Hakeem or Jordan would have ever gotten kicked out by a fifth seed?
No. I
That's
mean,
the thing.
I don't know. It's a very different
We're living in
league.
wild times, man. It's wild times. What a time to be alive.
So before we go to halftime, I'm gonna acknowledge some of our viewers and comments here. We have oh look, Jessica.
Oh, that was probably for the Kardashian comment. She knows what I'm talking
Definitely
about.
was.
That was definitely for the Kardashian comment.
We need you to give us your all-time Kardashian list of people they dated. NBA edition.
She'll be able to name you every guy. A little bit more Santero.
Tim, one of our other hosts for the wrestling show, and today he actually had another show, East Coast Celtics, baby. Yeah, I don't know how you're a Celtics fan in New York, man. I feel like just
How
a
does that happen?
sit.
How does that happen?
He explained it on the last show, but because of his dad, if I'm not wrong. And
Oh,
I'm
okay,
like,
okay,
man,
okay. So it's a lineage.
but still, it's like you would think like you would be a Knicks fan, even though I know it's not easy being a Knicks fan.
Definitely not.
And then we have John,
Who's the German?
I'm not entirely sure what he's talking about.
John, elaborate, John. By the way, I got the fan in honor of John.
In honor of John, he was with us a couple, 2 shows ago. If you want to go back,
And if my grandma comes out, I'm just gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go like that, and I'm gonna block everybody, so they can't see my. Because I got roommates. I don't got a grandma, so I got roommates. So if Edgar walks around or Johnny walks around naked right in the back, I'm gonna block them out. Oh, so what it is, David?
all right, guys, we're on to
Oh,
everyone.
Dennis Schroeder. He was talking about Dennis Schroeder to get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get 6 man. He was a dog though.
He was.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul will tell you how good that guy is.
See, I feel like I know we're gonna get off topic, but we should have had Chris Paul in the Heat, and everyone was hating on it. I was like, bro, Chris Paul would have been a great addition just because he's that great
But
player
that's
here.
thinking short-term mentality. We're thinking
I'm thinking they want to win.
the Heat don't think short-term. They think legacy. They think dynasty. We're building a dynasty, man.
You're right, but is everyone not thinking right now? We beat the Bucks. We're probably going to the finals.
But we could do this even without Chris Paul. That's the thing. We could do this
But imagine
even
how
with
much
having
better
your
we do
cake.
with Chris
Have you ever
Paul.
heard of having your cake and eating it too? We're gonna have the cake. We're gonna have the croquetas, the pastelitos. We're gonna eat everything, dude, without giving up anything. That's how Pat Riley does things. He's the Don. That's how Riley does things. He's
You're right.
right now working on an elaborate package of peanuts. We're gonna give all these peanuts to the Pacers, and we're gonna get Victor Oladipo back for the best, the finest peanuts in the world.
So you rather
That's how he does.
Oladipo over Bradley Beal?
Again, you don't have to pick and choose when you got Pat Riley.
you
You
just
can
get
just
them
have
all.
everything. You can have everything you want.
Oh,
I
man.
need to see the edit already with all the edits. Every time they mention somebody, we put the edit in the Heat jersey. We got Vic. We got Bradley Beal. we, we got everybody. Even when it's not possible, we still do it.
All right, guys, we're on to halftime where I put my championship on the line again against the Lair Bear. And I again did the same thing I did with John. I gave him 5 games
I
and I
did
let him
horrible in these.
choose. And I took the opposing
I did horrible in
team.
this.
So the first game I gave him was the Celtics versus the Raptors.
Who
And he
thought of
chose.
that? Who thought really the Celtics were gonna get that? Who thought that? Like you would think this would be a drag on series.
So obviously you can tell by his upsetment that he chose the Raptors, giving me the Celtics and giving me the 1-0 lead. Next up, it was the Utah Jazz versus the Nuggets. Game 7, so it could have gone either way. The Nuggets just came back from being down
What a
3-1.
game! What a game, by the
It
way.
was a great game.
What a game!
And those are real superstars in the making, not Damian Lillard. With
He's
Donovan
not in the making.
Mitchell,
He's already been made. Damian Lillard is not a
he's a
superstar in the making.
star.
He's
He's never
already a
going to be a
superstar.
superstar. He's a
He's
star.
already a
Sorry, guys.
superstar.
Hot take. He's a star. He ain't a superstar. Uh, so then he chose the Jazz to advance.
Because
Giving
that
me the
was my boy
Nuggets.
Donovan Mitchell, bro. I love him. I love me some Spider, man. I gotta
Don.
pick Donovan Mitchell, and they could have had it too. If I was saying it all last yesterday, I was saying, dude, give Donovan the ball, and somehow they were just crowding the paint on him, and he turns it over at the end, and I was like, oh my god! And I was begging for an Ingles because I saw Ingles always in the corner with that three, and I was begging. I was telling everybody, yo, he's got a three in his pocket. If you could just get him the ball open, he's gonna make that three. And then Conley just ends up taking that shot that I thought was in. And it just rimmed out, and that just ruined all my predictions, man. I was like, at least I'm gonna get the NBA right, and it turns out that I failed miserably at the NBA. Lost on the
So,
Raptors and lost on Utah.
so we have John chiming in, telling me to get out of here because Dame is a superstar. Where was
Of
that
course he
superstar?
is.
Where was he in that series against the
Superstar.
Lakers? I didn't see him. And where was he actually in
Dude,
that game that
superstar.
they needed to win
Superstar.
against the Grizzlies? Because last I checked, the last 7 minutes he had what,
Superstars do
3
this.
points, all off on free throws. If it wasn't for CJ McCollum, they would have not won that game. And that
I'm gonna go
happened
out on a limb
every
here
time.
and say that it would
If
if
it
it
was
was
LeBron James, I'm sorry, if it was LeBron James that you give him Damian Lillard stats where he disappears for 7 minutes, people are going to murder LeBron James. They're gonna crucify him because how bad he would have been doing. So I don't understand this Damian Lillard. Oh yeah, he's a superstar. No, he's not.
you're
He's
gonna
a
tell me
star.
you've never seen somebody more cold blooded than this guy. This guy's just cold blooded.
He shoots a shot from half court. I don't
And
think
then
that's
he
a
goes
tough
like
play.
this. And then he goes like this. How can you not like that? The
Yeah,
little wave.
yeah, and right now
David, do a little wave. Do a little wave next
that's
time
what
you make a three
everyone's
and tell
done
me how
to
you
him.
feel. You're gonna feel like a superstar.
That's what everyone's done to him. The Lakers, the
Come play
Clippers,
ball. Come play ball with us
the
tomorrow.
Warriors.
I'm gonna do this on you, and then you're gonna call me a superstar.
All right. Next game we have was the Giants versus the Rockies. And you picked the Giants. And I believe the Giants murdered the Rockies. It
They
was like
did. They scored 23.
23 runs. I was just
23
like,
runs.
holy bananas. And
Holy bananas. What were you gonna
so,
say, man? Say what you're gonna say.
so that gave you your first win, which was, I
Who would have
think,
thought? MLB. When my strength is NBA and I'm picking MLB games. This is like when I do fantasy. I do fantasy baseball. I'm a two-time champion. I do fantasy football, and I'm always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
always second. Next game we had was the Tigers versus the Brewers, and you picked the Tigers. And I think they also like routed
They're
the
like
Brewers.
the thing is that they're on a streak right now. That team is playing ridiculous. They're like on a 5-6 game winning streak. So those guys are rolling. So obviously,
So right there, it's a 2-2. And I'm not gonna say I was nervous. I'm never nervous. And the last game was
damn Mets.
again. I
Had to
picked
be
all
the,
games besides the NBA ones that were all even. Could have gone either
be
way.
the damn Mets.
Was the Mets versus the Orioles, and you surprisingly went with the Mets.
I should have never done that. That
You
just shows
went
me.
with the Mets,
That just
and
shows me.
because of that, I am still the reigning, defending, undisputed halftime champion.
You're like that
of the
octopus that
world.
picks the soccer World Cup winner. You're like that octopus that's just pure luck. Whatever.
Just walk wherever the food is.
You're like that octopus that has never failed in picking the World Cup winner.
Oh man. So exactly. Still your halftime champion. undefeated. I believe now I'm like 6-0. Who's gonna stop me? I'm waiting for it.
We just do a reverse. You pick the winners. You pick your pick, and then whatever
I'm the champion. I get to. I'm
by
giving you the
default.
opportunity because
By
if
default.
because if I pick, then it's like, oh, but you got to pick
That is
first. So
true.
I
That is
give
true.
my
I would
opponents,
definitely use that excuse.
I give my opponents the chance. Pick the teams. It's gonna be up to you. I'm gonna pick the opposite, just to make it fair. So, and I pick fair games. It's not like I'm picking the Tennessee Titans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm picking fair games.
That
It
is
could,
true.
it's
That
like the
is true.
Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That is true. Yo, I'm gonna have to say, for every there's no plug. I'm not getting paid for this. I wish I was, but the Santero rum, pretty good, man. Got me in a good tip right now.
Everyone out there, you
Proceed,
heard it
proceed.
here first. Oh, and John's waiting for his rematch. Huh? I mean,
For what?
because I did the same thing with John, but he did it
Oh,
fair as well as you. I think it was
John,
like
this is rigged, man. Don't worry
it was
about it,
like
John. It's
five.
rigged.
I gave him 6 games, and I think he only got one right.
Yo, shout out to John's grandma, though. Shout out, John.
Where's she at? Bring her on, John. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to quarter number 3 now, and we're gonna leave the NBA behind us, and we'll talk a little bit of baseball. So let me get this timer going. In 3, and we're going. So baseball. Before we start, I want to say baseball actually lost, a legend today in Tom Seaver. He passed away not too long ago. Actually, that's when the news broke. And if you don't
I
know,
didn't even. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know.
well, for everyone out there and yourself, he was one of the starting pitchers and one of the reasons why the Mets won that World Series when they were the Miracle Mets.
What was he
And
yesterday?
what?
Where was he yesterday? That's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
You're the worst.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we got our boy Carlos Marin chiming in that John's grandma is a thug, and she is. You don't want to mess with that lady.
Legit, she is a thug. Legit, she's a thug.
You know that John got that chancleta as soon as he's tried to block her, and she's too quick. She still made it in the show, so I don't know what he was doing.
Carlos says Gary Sheffield because he wanted me somehow, some way. We had a bet going on that somehow, some way I was going to incorporate Gary Sheffield into this discussion.
Well,
so
we'll talk about.
I just did. I'm sorry, Carlos. I just did. You lost.
We're doing Marlin, so he's a former Marlin, so
you lost,
the
buddy.
chef. Anyway, so with the Marlins, I mean, have you been? I know you're not really a baseball guy, but
I've been following them a little bit.
Well, they've been surprising people right now. I believe.
Honestly, here's the thing. And I'm gonna look at the broader view, and then I'm gonna drill down into Marlins. The MLB has completely made a freaking ridicule of this whole season. The whole way that they set this out was horrible, dude. Like, props to the NBA for the way that they did it. Not just because of my favorite sport, but just the way that they did it was fantastic. The MLB just looks like it was like me setting this up. It was like me setting this up on like my day off or something. Like, how are we gonna create this league? How are we gonna run this season?
You're doing it on the show.
Exactly. And so the way that they ran it, it was bound to fail. And how convenient that the team that brings it all down and the team that makes this look horrible is our Marlins. So to start off, they made you doubt for a second that we could have live sports. Thank God we've kind of overcome that a little bit. And you're kind of like saying, okay, we can still have live sports. But that initial push just created a horrible situation. And now you're watching players that are, AAA players and players that nobody's ever heard of in there. And it's created, to be honest with you, an environment that's not probably baseball was boring to start with. And now they've not done anything to make the game even more watchable. Now, with that said, since we're talking about the Marlins, this team is still one game over 500.
And
this
they're in place.
And they're exactly. And they went out.
And if I'm not wrong,
they made a move. First of all, this team could not hit to save its life. They got great defense. They got great pitching, but they couldn't hit. But what did they go out and do? Which shocked me. They went out and they were buyers. They got Starling Marte, who is probably the best bat available. And what does he do his first game? Game-winning home run. and he gets you the victory. So now all bets are off. If I said that the NBA is anybody's season for the NBA, well, that's how it is for the MLB every season. Even when you're playing under regular conditions, it's anybody's league. And now with this situation, it's really anybody's league. It's really going to be down to who gets hot at the end. You know, is it
And
going to be
they've
the
added
Padres? Is it going to be the
more teams,
Tigers?
and
And
they've
it's
added
who
more
has.
teams to the playoffs instead of it being, I think it was what the three winners and then the two wild cards. Now they added uh, an additional wild card team. So I think it's six. No, it's so now it's the top two teams, the first and second seed in each division also it's eight make the playoffs, and then you have two wild cards. So eight teams
Oh,
from each
really?
conference are making the playoffs.
Well, you know, if we get the wild card, automatically we're going to win the World Series, right?
2-0.
Automatically we win the World Series if we get the wild card. But here's the thing: that is whoever's going to get hot, and it's whoever has the two pitchers who get hot and who are really come out of nowhere that is really going to get it done. And so the Marlins
That's
have been
exciting
actually.
because it could be anybody. It could be the
Yeah,
Marlins, and people are just
it could definitely be the Marlins. They got
if you
somebody.
look at
They
them.
got a guy who automatically becomes their best offensive weapon right off the bat. They brought up this kid from AAA, the shortstop. What's his name? Chisholm, Jazz
Yeah,
Chisholm. He was a good batter in AAA, so that's another bat. You could tell they're trying to get some offensive weapons in there. Because as of late, Luis
and
Brinson has been the best freaking
they don't even
player.
have. I don't even know if they have their best pitcher back yet. What is it, Alcantara? I don't.
Alcantara, yeah.
I don't even
But
think
but
he's.
he's been pitching kind of bad. His ERA is over 5, so it's actually been the other guys that have been kind of
No,
stepping it
but
up.
he hasn't come back yet.
No, he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't.
And
But
he
the other,
started off good. He was 1-0. His ERA was 1.35. Like, and then it's just exactly these guys were careless, and they ended up getting a bunch of the team. What is it? Almost half the team sick.
yeah,
But imagine they did
horrible.
that, and then they went on that run where they were what they had like a 7 game win streak.
I don't know what these guys were doing. Were they having like an orgy or something for all of them to get sick at the same time? What were they
Yeah, well,
doing?
it happened in Atlanta, so it must have been that they all went to that
That's
same strip club that Lou
what is
Williams
that?
went to.
Buckhead. They were probably in Buckhead, Atlanta, just getting crazy, man.
They probably went to Magic City. They met Lou Williams over there.
Like that for anybody who doesn't know, Buckhead is like Wynwood in Miami. If you're following us from Miami, that's like Wynwood, which is like when your girl says, "I'm going out with the girls," it's like some stuff is going down. So that's how they all got. That's how they all got the Rona.
That's Miami girls for you. Okay, so now to go back on what you were saying about the how poorly baseball did this. They didn't have they didn't do the bubble, so you have all these guys going back and forth. When they first started, no one was required to wear the face mask in the dugout. They finally changed that, so they've made the right adjustments.
The joke.
However, though, what I think is that once we get into the playoffs, they need to do a bubble. It
They
doesn't
have
matter
to.
where they do it, they have to. Because imagine you're still gonna imagine just here's me. I'm a Yankee fan. Imagine you get all these guys back because we have still Giancarlo's hurt. Judge went on the DL again. Imagine if
Doesn't look
those
too good
guys
for you,
end up
buddy. Doesn't look too good for you.
there's still time. Imagine if those guys all get COVID. Like, what the hell do you do then? Then you have a bunch of minor leaguers because let's say I don't know it was the Marlins that gave it to them. Like, how bad would that be? Like, I can just purposely give you COVID then, so their whole team is out.
I give them the benefit of the doubt because there's a lot more players. They say, "Hey, we can't do what the NBA is doing because we have a lot more players than the NBA does." But for the playoffs, like you said, they definitely got to do it. They've just created a mess. Look at the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays wanted to get in this league, and Toronto was like, "I'm sorry, you're
That's
not
it.
playing. You're not playing here. You can go play somewhere else, but you're not gonna play here." So Toronto had to be going. Now they're playing out of Buffalo, right?
Yeah,
Who wants to play out of Buffalo? Like that's ridiculous. They don't even have a stadium there. So the way that they set this whole thing up was ridiculous. They should have at least done a complex. If they can't do a bubble like the in
they could have
earnest like
waited
the
till
NBA
the
does.
NBA finishes and done it.
Yeah,
Imagine they all their spring. Most of these guys, most of these teams' spring training games are done there in Central
all of
Florida,
Florida, all of Florida. Yeah,
Jupiter, all these places. Like, you could have definitely done it there. Like, it just didn't make any sense. And like John said, it will be easier with less teams once we get to the playoffs.
that's true.
Hopefully, they will do that.
That's
And
true.
we're gonna
Carlos says Josh Beckett. Shout out Josh Beckett, World Series MVP
for the Red Sox, right?
for the Red Sox. Yeah,
So with that, we're gonna transition.
The Boston Marlins.
If they really were, Mike Lowe. We'll transition to NFL since we're talking about this, and supposedly the season's starting in less than 2 weeks. And I don't know. How do you think this is going to work? Because there's some teams that are saying that they're going to have. I think the Dolphins are one of those that are saying that they're going to do a 20% capacity at these games, and I'm just like,
Have you been watching? What's this HBO show called?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Have you been watching it? So they got the Chargers and they got the Rams. And dude, let me be honest with you. I think there's gonna be because the way that these teams are practicing and the way that they're doing this whole thing. First of all, you're not gonna have any of those free agent, walk on, sensation people because they're just not getting a chance to play. So everything is being done half-assed. They're just showing up, but they're not really doing anything. So all of these players, back in the day, Terrell Davis was a walk-on, not drafted. Players that show up like that, that's not going to happen. You're not going to have those guys. So you're really just doing it to go through the motions. It's really going to be the team that you think it's going to be, the team that you had from last year, or whoever you signed.
They're doing it for the money. Let's be real. I mean,
straight up, they're doing it for the money. So I've been watching that and getting an insight into that, and there's really going to be, first of all, these guys are not getting enough reps. So I imagine that there's going to be massive amount of injuries because these guys are not getting enough reps. And there's not going to be any shocking players that are going to come out and wow you because it's just not getting an opportunity to do it.
Well, that, and then this is a contact sport. It's not baseball where you're at distance from another player. You're gonna be if there's a pylon, there's at least like 7-8 people in that pylon.
That's what I feel like. All that mask thing is ridiculous because eventually
one person to be sick.
Yeah, so all of that is pointless at that point. Like the masks and all that stuff, it doesn't even matter because it's pointless. If somebody has it, you're gonna get infected. So create a bubble, and if somebody has it, you take them out. But at the end of the day, you need to go back to playing football how you got to play football. It's a contact sport.
I mentioned, I think, to John was they should do a bubble because they can with football, and instead of just making it Sunday football,
spread it out throughout the week, right?
Spread it out throughout the week. You can do 3 games every day.
That's true. I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah. Oh man, imagine
prime time every day. Prime time every day.
Exactly.
Hey man, we should do this. How about we call John Cena up and we tell him, hey dude, XFL, let's go do this XFL thing. Oh, John Cena, The Rock, right? I knew it was some wrestler. The Rock made the best purchase in the world, $1 million, just for the name, just for the naming rights. That's worth it.
And today, this past weekend, he got all the helmets for the teams, and he has it like in his office, and then he has a $7 framed above his like shelving because that's how much money he had when he got released from like the Canadian Football League or whatever.
Oh yeah,
all the money he had to his name, and then look at him now, man, purchasing a league.
Tell me how much bad luck this guy has. What's his name? The owner of the WWE, Vince McMahon.
Vince is worth $1.8 billion.
But dude, that's some bad luck. Like honestly, like how do you build this whole thing up, and then it comes out when there's a worldwide pandemic? Like he went all in on this. He sold some of his stock for WWE. Like this guy really believed in it, and I just felt bad. There's gonna be another 30 for 30 on this. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Tim, I see your comment. We're gonna get to that in overtime, so I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I mean, man, what do you now? That's the other thing. I don't think college football should happen. I feel like NFL is different, but college football I don't think should happen. If these guys are still going to school and then they still have to go play. They're going elsewhere to play. Like, man, you're asking for an entire university to be shut down and quarantined because of a college sport.
I'm going to be you on this, David. I'm going to be a DA, a devil's advocate. Here's the thing. For all of those of you who don't know, we call David DA, devil's advocate. This guy doesn't show up in the chat at all, but then you say something, and then this guy will come in, like you say the sky is blue, and this guy, well, actually it's gray. So this guy would just try to find...
It's a like light blue. It's not blue.
The earth is round. Well, actually, Kyrie made some good points. No, so just to finish up on this,
But
for the college football season, these guys, first of all, I think that they were gonna start getting paid or not, something like that.
what it is they can get like sponsorships now, where
Well,
like if NCAA makes a game again, they can actually have their names in the game. Before you'd have like what is it, QB4, number four,
that's
and
big for these guys, man.
yeah,
That's big because a lot of these guys are poor as hell. So
absolutely. But
that's
dude,
big for
there's a
these
lot
guys.
bigger things than that going on right now.
And another thing, this is like their tryout. This is like, imagine that you're going for a job interview and this is your tryout. This is where you show what you're made of, and this is millions of dollars on the line. If you don't let them play, this is their whole careers on the line. Some of these players, the average NFL career is like what, like 3 or 4 years. So most of these guys make their money off of 3 or 4 years. And if you take away this year
Now
from
they're
them,
given a chance in college to make that money because there's people who like a
they
Jamarcus
should.
Russell that didn't do squat in the
I
NFL
agree.
could have
I
made
agree,
some
but we're
money.
not there yet.
No,
So
you're
the
right.
only way that they can make their money is off the NFL, and they cannot get to the NFL if they don't show what they've got in college football. So we
But
need
let's be
that.
real. They, as much as this is a like that's a bad thing in that aspect, but it's also a good thing because now you guys should be focusing on school either way. How many people, like you said, it's an average of 3 or 4 years in the NFL. After that, they go broke because they don't have an education. They don't know
That's
what
not
to
gonna
do.
change, dude. That's not gonna
But
change.
but with
They
this,
gotta
I
watch
mean,
that
hey,
30 for 30 broke. They gotta watch
they
that.
do. That should be the if man
It should be like
if you're
required watching.
required. You need to watch this before your first season. You're a redshirt freshman. You need to watch this because this is what you're going to end up with, and this is what you have to think of before you try to take that leap. Because imagine how many guys have taken that leap and they end up flopping or they get hurt. Like they don't have a backup. So I feel like you're in school. You're not in. Yeah, you might be in school to play a sport, but there's bigger things than that, and you have to think, like you said, towards the future. Think like Pat Riley. What would Pat do? Think towards the future.
I would get paid, and then he would get late.
All right, we're going on to quarter number 4, and in this quarter, we have a little bit of a special. We're not just going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about a certain topic, and this topic is great. Is going to be the greatest rivalry in a sports town. And since I brought on that way, my friend Larry here, we're gonna do Miami. Thought it would make it easy for him, and we're gonna do what we believe is the greatest rivalry in Miami sports history. We're gonna give an honorable mention, and we're gonna give our number one. Everyone that's watching, you can go ahead and put yours in the comment as well, and we'll chime in and see what we think. So, Larry, I have a feeling I know what your number one is. So
You
I'm gonna
think?
ask. I think so. So I'm gonna ask you to give me your honorable mention.
Honorable mention for me is gonna be Dolphins Jets.
Okay.
That'll be honorable mention for me. Just because
Explain.
of just because of the history that they had, all the Marino fake, the fake spike, all that stuff. The Monday Night Football where the Jets came back, where they were losing like 103-0. Uh, all that stuff really has created a rivalry. We can't make the playoffs, they can't make the playoffs. We suck, they suck, type of thing. So that would be
Fireman
my
Ed.
honorable mention.
So it's funny you said that. I'm surprised you didn't might have not gone with like the Bills, who they had like a good rivalry, and then was it Jim Kelly was always beating Marino in the playoffs. So I'm surprised you didn't give that one.
I didn't actually, John. Right now, my boy.
Well, no, I'm not spoiling that. Sorry,
Oh,
John. We're
that's
waiting.
that. Oh, okay, okay, okay,
So
okay.
I'll get to it at once we give ours,
Stole
so
your
that there's
shine.
no
Stole your
spoilers.
shine, man. John's always stealing
So
your shine with his grandma, with his pigs.
um, I'll give you that one. That's a good honorable mention. I don't think that the Dolphins, besides the Jets and the Bills, people try to give the Patriots that credit. Get out of here. That's
I
not a
don't.
rivalry when you're
That's
getting
not a
dogged
rivalry.
every
Yeah,
single
I
year.
agree. I
There's
agree.
no
It's
way
not.
that's a rivalry.
Even with the Miami Miracle, that's not a rivalry.
No, I'm sorry. Oh, you beat them in the 17th week. Who the hell cares?
That's true.
They're winning Super Bowls. What are you guys doing? That's not a rivalry. I completely
It's
disagree
sad.
with
It's
that.
really sad. But maybe now that they lost Brady, now it's going to be more of a rivalry, right?
I mean, they got Cam Newton, so who
Cam
knows?
Newton disappointed me as my fantasy quarterback, so I hate him.
Oh, we
This
got
guy got
a.
Johnny. Don't lie. We know you
Well,
had a Facebook for years, man. Don't lie.
This is his secret account that no one
This
knows
is
about. But
secret,
thank you,
secret, the
Johnny, for
burner. You
tuning
know,
in.
we know you got burner accounts out there, man.
That's it.
Trying to
Johnny
act
is
like
like
he doesn't have a
KD of the
TikTok.
group.
Johnny's trying to act like he doesn't have a TikTok either.
Johnny's the KD of the group. All them burner accounts.
He got
Ooh,
burner
Johnny,
accounts. He comments on his own stuff. Like
Johnny,
KD.
like
Pats don't
John,
want us in the regular season. Yeah, they can't have us in the playoffs because we're not there.
exactly. Well, I'm gonna go with my honorable mention, and I'm just gonna say what it is because I know exactly where this is gonna go next with you. My honorable mention is I went through all the teams. The Marlins have no rivalries. I don't care that they've won 2 World Series. They haven't have a
Braves,
matchup.
man. We got the Braves.
The
Okay.
Braves, get out of here. Chipper Jones was whooping our ass every year.
Andrew Jones just like
Andrew
sodomized.
Jones laughed at that. So I went through that. There's nothing for the Marlins. The Dolphins have their Jets, their Bills, but this was all like decades ago. There's nothing with the Patriots. They don't really have a true rivalry right now. So then I went to the other Cardinals. Dolphins going to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
Hey, this year it might happen. I don't know.
we never know. Everyone gets COVID, and the Dolphins are
Tank
the
for
only
Tua,
team.
man. Tank for Tua worked out.
So I went to the next sports team, which is the Miami Heat, and
Don't
they
even,
were,
don't even try to say this is an honorable mention.
this is
Don't even
my
try to
honorable
say.
mention. This is my honorable mention.
God,
I went through. They have had a couple
just for that, I
rivalries.
gotta take some more Santero here because this is
They've had a couple rivalries. Like, and I thought about it. I was like, the Pacers is a good one. I mean, I feel like the Pacers one is still semi alive. The Celtics is a good one.
not a rivalry when you beat the Pacers every year. So
Yeah, but how many times they were beating us before? That's why. Yeah, it has to go back. It can't just be
wait,
now.
wait a minute. When did the Pacers ever beat us?
Dwayne Wade's rookie year, we lost to the Pacers in the second round with Jermaine O'Neal against Jermaine O'Neal,
Are
and
you kidding me? We were like the youngest team ever. We weren't even expected to get to the second round,
but
and
they
just
still beat us.
Dwayne Wade posterized Jermaine O'Neal, Lamar Odom balling out. My
I
boy
love
skipped to my boy skipped to my Lou, just like
Ray
just
Carlson.
dishing everything.
You're right, and we took him. I
Evan
think it was
Gundy
the
out
seven,
there
no?
with the sleeve that doesn't fit his jacket properly. Everything was rolling for us. We weren't even supposed to be there. We were playing
You're absolutely
with
right,
borrowed money.
but you're absolutely right. Even though I feel like that team, we still could have been good. I feel like I loved Lamar Odom here.
Dude, they had the MVP that year, wasn't it? Jermaine O'Neal that was like MVP that year.
I
They
don't know if
were
he was.
nasty. They had that Piranha, Reggie Miller. So that guy looks like Piranha. So
The Piranha.
they were supposed to win that. We took them to 6 games. That was never even supposed to happen. I wouldn't even count that as part of the rivalry. But go ahead,
Oh, I'm sorry. I
David.
think it was me cutting out. Yeah.
David apparently didn't pay his Comcast bill. They're
Nope, that Xfinity, over here, it's rough. Sorry. But no, so I said I felt like that's a rivalry. I'm sorry. It was good. They still went back and forth plenty of times.
so that's
Even
your
with
honorable mention. Heat
No, it's
Pacers.
not. It's not. I'm saying I
Okay.
thought about it. Then I thought the Celtics because we went against the Celtics a couple times. But no, I'm gonna go. That's why I'm just gonna say what it is, and I'm gonna let you go on and give your number one. My honorable mention is Heat versus Knicks. There you go. That's my
Boys,
honorable mention.
I
Go
gotta
ahead.
get the boys back me up. The boys got me. How is that an honorable mention?
Honorable mention.
That is the
I'll tell
only
you why.
worthwhile. That is the only worthwhile rivalry that has even existed in
Okay, but it
Miami.
doesn't exist anymore, does it?
It doesn't exist because the Knicks suck. If the Knicks weren't good, if the Knicks were good, it still would exist. The Knicks suck. It's not our fault. We're still here. We're in the
It's
playoffs. The
not. You
Knicks,
can't. You
ever
can't.
since Melo joined, it's like
Oh,
just
stop it.
an
No,
abyss that they
Peter.
fell into. Look, let me tell you how big of a rivalry this was, right? This is how big of a rivalry this was.
Aston Rock, greatest rivalry of all time.
This is how big of a rivalry this was. My boy Eric Murdoch, backup point guard. If you know who Eric Murdoch is, you a Heat lifer. But behind Tim Hardaway, my all-time favorite legend, Miami Heat, Eric Murdoch, my boy, and Chris Childs going at it. Chris Childs goes like makes a big points at that time were like gold. They were like if you can get 1 point, it's like a treasure a lost treasure that you can find, because that's how drag on these games where they're like 43-45 the final score. That's how bad these games were. Like in terms of defense, they were just wars. And so Chris Childs makes a three, and he goes and he does a little throat slash. He does a little throat slash at Eric Murdoch. Eric Murdoch comes right back, shoots a three right there, and he looks at the bench. He does a little throat slash like that, and like a 7-year-old, 8 or 10-year-old Larry is just going insane, just like going like this, going crazy. And because of that game, they actually banned the throat slash. That's how big those rivalries were. It's like, hey, you can't throat slash no more because Eric Murdoch and Chris Childs did it. PJ Brown, the nun of the NBA, flipping people around. He was flipping people. This guy's a saint. This guy's a saint. They couldn't even find him during Katrina. They didn't know where he was because he's such a nice person. He was out helping other people probably, and he was flipping people over around. Marcus Camby was flipping around. Jeff Van Gundy dragging on Zoe's ankle. Zoe's just dragging him. Like, what's going on? Larry Johnson.
It's not like it's not on my list.
The things that happened during this rivalry were just like crazy. It was just crazy. Clarence Weatherspoon,
right. And the playoffs.
Allen Houston making, like, I'm not gonna lie. When Allen Houston made that shot, I cried.
That was a rough one. Oh, God,
dude. Like, how does Allen Houston make that shot? Like, how does that happen? Like, it's still haunting me to these days. Even Pat Riley couldn't make it back to the locker room. This guy, they show video of him like on like going back to the locker room, just leaning against the wall, because it's like, how could this happen? You know, that fan is going ham. That's right.
That's for you, John. That's for you.
Heat lifer. So the fact that there could be any other rivalry better than this, I don't care. I don't care how many white lefts, white right. I don't care how many things happen. This is
no, you're not ruining it for me.
This is epic. No, I'm just alluding to it. But this is just epic things happening. Like this disdain that these teams had. They truly hated each other.
You're absolutely right. But that was that NBA back then.
Okay, but that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about greatest rivalries.
No, you're right.
You can't say
it's not like I'm not listing that at all.
Are you saying that there's still existing rivalries? Because at the time,
that to me
I'll
is
take that rivalry at its peak.
Rivalry.
I'll take that rivalry at its peak over any other rivalry at its peak. Now that it's still not going, it's not our fault. If the Knicks were better, if Melo weren't jealous, if he would have given some cap room to somebody else, maybe we could have had a better rivalry.
He had Amari was making $100 million still. It's not.
Yeah, but Amari was punching. He was punching extinguishers. He was punching extinguishers in the bench. So it's not our fault. But props to Amari. Heat lifer though. He came play for the Heat. Heat lifer. Once a Heat, always a Heat lifer.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Amari was there. It's not like he didn't have. Not that he didn't have anyone like we did. That we had a big three, but he still had a duo there. That if Amari didn't get hurt, Melo had someone there. It's just Amari's bum. Either way. That's your number one. My number one, I'm going to let John introduce it here, and that is the University of Miami.
Notice what he said. He said it's a good one. He said Miami FSU is a good one.
That's the first one he thought of.
That's an honorable mention. No. He didn't say, hey, that's the one.
That's the first one that came to his mind. That's what it was. That's why he put it down. So
I'm going to do JWoww on you right now. That JWoww meme?
I'm sorry. That to me is the greatest rivalry in Miami sports history. You just have so much going on there. You have all the wide rights, all the right left. The two, I think.
That's all you got. That's all you got, David.
What are you talking about? That's not all we had. They fought in the national championships. They had so many classic Orange Bowl matchups, and even till this day, you still have it. Like it's a even series. The all-time record is 34-30. Miami leading the series. They both have the largest victories for both teams is 47-0. The only thing is that, what is it? FSU had that because hasn't been great for a lot of years now. That's a good one, John. I'm gonna go to that next. Where
we ended your boy's career.
Well, my FSU went on a 7. They've done it twice. They've beaten us 7 times in a row. I think the most they've gotten is 3. But either way, that is I feel like if you go to anyone in Miami. Not a lot of people. Let's be real. Some people watch football. Everyone watches football. A lot of people don't watch basketball. If I go to them now and say, hey, what do you think is the greatest rivalry for any team? they're not gonna say anything from the Dolphins, nothing from the Marlins. They might say something from the Heat, but more likely than not, they're gonna give you FSU. How crazy those tailgates get, how crazy those games get. It's just insane. can suck, but when we play FSU, everyone goes out there just because they. That
We're
was
gonna
a
OT.
quarter four,
We're gonna
but
we're gonna OT.
we're gonna talk about this a little bit more because we have
This is like Jimmy. If Jimmy would have missed those free throws, we're going to OT.
hold on. So we have I just want to get back to a couple things, comments here before we move on. We have the Milka making a comeback with Carlos, saying if it wasn't for my Milka, I'd still be crying.
Props to Carlos. Props to
Hashtag Heat
Carlos for
Lifer, hashtag Milka.
props to Carlos for sacrificing diabetes late in his life for the Heat victory.
John
That's a
saying
true
true
Heat
Heat
fan.
fans still hate the Knicks. And it's true. I mean, the only reason I didn't hate the Knicks at one point was because Melo went there, and I really liked Melo, so I was just supporting. I knew he wasn't gonna win.
How did that choice go for you?
It's not like I was rooting for them to beat the Heat. I knew they weren't gonna beat them. We got Jason gonna say it's
Oh,
the
it's a Sam. I
Sam
said
meme.
JWoww. I said JWoww.
Yeah,
I
it's
correct
Sam.
myself.
You gotta
I correct
correct
myself.
it
It's a
there.
Sam. It's a Sam meme. It's a
Thank
Sam
you.
meme. I said JWoww.
And then we have John chiming in with the Heat Pistons is what he would have picked, which it's a good
We
rivalry.
had 2 good years with them, and we would have had both of them had Dwayne Wade not gotten a freak injury. We would
Can you
have had
say
both
Heat,
of them.
Heat Bulls too? No, I feel like we went to
No,
battle against Kirk Heinrich and Ben Gordon so many times.
dude, I hated Kirk Gordon. Who was that guy? Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon,
Dude, Ben
both
Gordon
of
would
them were
light
like,
us up. Like this guy doesn't do anything in the season, and then he was just light us up. Ben
both of them.
Gordon was insane. Like,
It
how did
was
he put
both
up
of
like
them.
30 spots on us?
It was both of them. Like they wouldn't do dog doo doo in the rest of the season, but they come and play Miami. It's like I'm gonna put a 40 and 30 and hit 5 threes in a row. Like
Oh my god, I hated Narcioni, that Argentinian guy. Oh my god,
Sione.
how did I hate that guy, dude? That guy was like, "Che boludo, te odio pelotudo."
So
Kendall Toyota.
wait, which
That's my
which fight are we
Argentinian.
talking about, Carlos? versus FIU. I
He's
think that
talking
wasn't
about
that
FIU. He's talking about the FIU fight, man.
wasn't that a FIU though? It wasn't at the
Yeah, that
Orange.
was FIU. He says the FIU UM fight. The FIU
I mean,
UM rivalry is
let's
the
be
best.
real. I mean, I don't think there was a real rivalry, even though FIU did beat them. Was it last year?
Dude,
But that fight had both those teams not played for what was it, over like almost a decade. They didn't play each other just because of how heated the fans were. I feel like it was more like I mean, I went to FIU, but I love So it was kind of like it would be like who would
I
I
like
root for?
how
There's a lot of
everybody. I
people.
like how everybody went to FIU reps UM though. Like, I like how that happens. How does that dynamic happen? Like you go to FIU, but you rep UM because you don't have the money. You don't have that money to go to UM.
Everyone's in Miami Dade. We should all be repping them Sharks.
I'm repping them Sharks, boy. Yeah, Mike Lowell, bro. Mike Lowell was a Shark. You didn't know that?
I didn't.
Mike Lowell was a Shark, dude.
Wow.
I remember when I went to Miami Dade, right? Because I'm a Shark myself. That they give you the little pamphlet, whatever thingy, and I'm like, oh, Mike Lowell was a Shark. What? That's crazy. Yeah.
I didn't. That's
You
hilarious.
even have a Knicks shirt, David. No, he doesn't. He's repping Wade. Wade
No, not
360.
today. He's talking about my Melo one that has the Knicks logo on it, but it literally clearly says Melo in the front. So, and that
What do you think of Bobo Melo? He was skinny, man.
he was
Was
man.
this guy's doing keto or something? What's he
He was,
doing?
he was playing good too.
Doing intermittent fasting or something?
It is that wine that he's been doing.
Were you drinking that Wade wine?
Oh, what? So no, Carlos is right. I just looked it up. It was at the Orange Bowl, October 14th, 2006. So imagine it was over a decade that these guys did not play each other because of that fight where the teams fought each other and then the fans fought each other. So, and John, are we talking about the Golden Panthers or the Florida Panthers? Because I did not even look at their rivalry. I'm sorry. I like going to a hockey game, but I don't follow it like that.
Hey, dude, the hockey games in real life are something else.
Panther. I know Carlos Arroyo was a Panther. Golden Panther. FIU.
Puerto Rican Carlos Arroyo. That guy was the reason that we didn't do crap in the play.
Let's see. Oh, Carlos said he was there. Carlos, who'd you beat up,
That's a lie.
man?
That's a lie, bro.
Who'd you
Carlos
beat up,
was not
Carlos? I,
there.
I want to know.
Carlos, Carlos injects himself into famous historical time. He was there for the Kennedy assassination too. Carlos was there.
All right, guys. We're going to everyone's favorite place, overtime, where we talk about anything that is not sports related, even though some things might, cross each other. But mainly here, we talk about what's going on in the world, things that we're watching, things going on in our life. So let's do some OT here. Oh, actually, let me leave the banner up for a little bit. And I'm going to start us off. And the first thing I'm going to say is something that Tim said a little bit earlier. I just didn't want to put it on here, and it was about The Rock. Since we brought up the XFL, and it's that today he went on and he sent out a message through his social media saying that him, his wife, and his two daughters all had COVID.
The Rock, for real?
The Rock, yep. He said that they for the past like 2 weeks is what he's been dealing with. He said that right now he's on the other side of it, that everyone's doing better, but that he did get COVID, all of them, his two daughters, his wife, and him. And he said it was probably one of the toughest times. He's been broke, that he's been fired and
Broke.
jobless. Yeah,
Oh,
bro, he
you
had to
mean
set
like
it up.
like spiritually broke, not financially broke.
Yeah, financially broke. That's a whole
The
$7
Ro-
thing.
The Rock has been financially broke.
Yeah, before he made it in WWE, he was broke.
Okay. I thought right now, because right now he's like the highest paid action star.
Yeah, so what you call it? Yeah, he said he's on the other side. He said though it was a really tough time, and yeah, so that was
I didn't
a
know
little
that.
bit of a crazy thing when he came out and said that today, and it's just, I mean, insane that how crazy this whole thing has been and who it's affected, and I think also Neymar tested positive for COVID-19 as well, and I think that's a big loss for PSG. However long they'll lose him,
That's crazy. Well, my
no
overtime
one's
thing,
immune from it, guys. No one is immune from this.
has nothing to do with sports whatsoever. I'm just gonna
Well,
do a
no, you're right. I
public
know.
service public
Go ahead.
service announcement for anybody that hasn't seen this show on TV. We gotta have like an overtime segment on this show because this is the greatest thing I've ever seen on TV. Um, if you haven't seen a show called 90 Day Fiance, you're doing yourself a disservice because this is literally the best show on TV, right? So let me give you the premise. The premise
Which
of the
one?
show,
Because there's like 17 90-day
and they're
fiance.
all great. The way over, the way back, underneath.
Pillow talk, Darcy and
Pillow
Stacey.
talk
Darcy and
sucks. Pillow
Stacey.
talk sucks. So let me
You
give my,
I'm gonna stop everyone. So basically, you see the show the 90. Let's say it's 9 day,
and then you watch people watching the show.
and then you watch people watching the show with their commentary. It's like,
No, but that does.
how is this a
Okay,
show?
okay, that one, but that's not the main thing, David. The main thing is that these are the majority of them are Colombian women. No, I'm playing.
It's like,
They're people from all parts of the world, and the idea of it is that, as many of you may know, as is very popular here in Miami where I live, there's a law that lets you get a visa. What is it? The K9
the
K
K1.
K1 visa that allows you to bring somebody over if your intent is to marry them, right? You got 90 days to date them and to be with them. And this,
You're supposed to already have known them, and
right,
you have to
right,
put
right, right, right,
90
right.
days is to get married, to make sure that you're able to have a living arrangement, to whatever, find a job, and basically be able to provide, not just bring someone here and hey, and drop them off over there.
Exactly. So then the idea is that you get to know them during those 90 days, and then eventually you would marry them and they would get their papers, their green card through this process. But this is just a car wreck. It's like when you watch, when you're rubbernecking and you're watching a car wreck. This is what this is, because there's so many guys getting played through this, and there's so many women getting played by this as well, that it's ridiculous. So if you haven't watched the show, you definitely have to watch this show.
So wait,
There,
what would you say? So for newbies, like for example, me, I've only watched one full season, and it was before the 90 days. We'll get to that now. But for anyone new, what season would you recommend of 90 Day Fiance so they
so
can go and watch it right now and be
so
captivated like they're watching a car wreck?
I'm gonna have to reach out to my girl. I know she's watching the show. I think it's season
Co-
two.
Comment,
Uh,
Jason. We know you're watching.
Comment
Comment.
Jay, but there's this couple. This is the greatest. I call this guy the gift, God's gift to cable television. There's this relationship. It's Danielle and Mohammed. It's this, I would say, elderly American woman who's maybe, not the best looking person, I would say. And then there's this guy from Morocco. His name is Mohammed. He's a young guy, fit. It's the first season. Yeah, but the thing is that she just said, Carlos just said there's the first season.
The
But
first
the thing
season.
is that their relationship runs
So
runs
season one, but
throughout.
he still
It
didn't
runs
watch
like
from the
four
start.
seasons. It runs like 4 seasons. Danielle Mohammed, and basically, you could tell that this guy is literally taking one for the team just to get his green card. But Carlos like Mohammed, this guy's God's gift to cable television, and this guy will do anything not to kiss her and not to do anything with her, but still he wants to marry her. And then when they get married, he basically says, "Oh, I cannot kiss her because it's against my religion, so he can't do anything." And then they ask him, "Oh, why don't you have like relations?" And then he goes, and this guy literally said this. This is just preview. He goes, "She has a condition with a smell that no man can be with her." So basically, he's just saying that her junk stinks, and that's what I'm telling you. This is the best cable television that there's ever existed. So that's what my OT thing is. If you haven't seen 90 Day Fiance, you definitely need to watch the show. TLC, shout out to them. They've created the best reality TV that's ever been created. I don't
It's
care about
so
Survivor. I don't care about anything. It's 90 Day Fiance.
come down. It's good, but it's crazy how TLC. I remember watching as a kid, and it was like all like it wasn't this. It was like
But
fixing homes and stuff.
TLC does all these weird things. Doctor Pimple Popper, whatever they do. There's 17 Jewish people. They do tiny house people, tiny people.
Yeah.
But this is the show that really gets you.
So
So
I
if you haven't-
saw before the 90 days. I saw season 3, I believe it was, and it's a season with a gentleman named Caesar who
oh,
was talking to a Ukrainian girl named Maria.
this is the girl
And
that couldn't dial. That couldn't dial the cell phone because her nails were too long.
it was such a like this man went through so much, and he was a like he worked at a nail salon. Like it was his job. He was doing nails, and he was sending this
But this
chick
guy has the
money.
nastiest toenails ever known to mankind. I don't know if you've seen the latest season,
I
but
haven't.
during
Oh,
COVID,
he's on the latest ones.
yeah, during COVID, he's like having his customers over, and then he's like showing them, "Oh, look, since you can't come to the salon, do your own nails. Look, let me show you." And then he pulls out his feet, and then he's doing his nails. Dude, this guy has the worst toenails. It's like Shaq toenails. Have you seen Shaq's toenails? It's like Shaq doing his nails, and he's like, "Look
Like
how
Carlos.
beautiful they are." Carlos too. Look at this guy. Look at these toenails. They're so beautiful. But yeah, that girl did him so dirty. But it's really things like that, and you're like, how can this guy not realize that he's getting played so bad? How can he not
Yeah,
realize?
that's very true. I feel like all they do is show Practical Jokers, but I still watch True TV.
That's
But so yeah,
true.
that season I feel like was really good. Just like you had that, and then like you had what was it Darcy and it's Darcy, right?
Oh,
And
dude, this
Tom.
girl's so annoying, bro.
Please, I don't understand how she got her own show.
I don't understand. If it's so annoying already, why would you want to see more
Like
annoying?
I felt bad for Tom at one point. Like at the end, I was like, God, Tom, just get
Like
out of
the
here.
Chantel, the family Chantel show, I understand that because that was like really good. Like if you guys haven't seen, there's this Dominican guy with this girl from Atlanta, which is hella fine, by the way. But they have their own show, and it's like how does Darcy get her own show, but this show kind of because that show has kind of died out. The Family Chantel, that was a good show. I don't understand how Darcy and her twin sister got the show. To be honest with you,
Uh,
that those
well,
people are
she's been
so
on a
annoying.
bunch of seasons, no? Just like Angela and Michael, which is
Yeah,
another
but
one that was on that.
you fast forward those things. It's
Poor
like
Michael.
Anfisa. Carlos is doing a shout out to Anfisa, the rudest, most meanest Russian. Now she's a bodybuilder. Are you kidding me? No
I don't know who
way.
this is, Carlos.
Anfisa is this Russian chick who's like the biggest gold digger of all time. Poor
On 90
guy
Day
that she was
Fiancé?
with. Yeah, the poor guy that she was with. He's like he did cannabis sales or whatever, and apparently he got caught, so he's in jail right now. But she was just wanting to drain this guy for money. And apparently now she's a bodybuilder. I didn't know that.
Well, Carlos alluded to another show that I haven't. I'm missing. I think like the last 2 episodes. Let me find this comment, and it's one that I really like. And that I don't.
600 pound life. I know what you're
Nope.
talking about.
Double shot at love
I'm
with
kidding. I'm kidding.
Vinny and Pauly D. You were talking
I haven't
about.
seen the show. I haven't seen the show. Fill
So
me in.
so they did the first season last year, and it was Double Shot at Love. So it was like the Rock of Love or the Flavor of Love, but it's both of them together. They get, I think it was like 16 girls, and they kind of all they're dating all of them at the same time, and then they eliminate one every week.
Polly D and who?
And Vinny,
Oh, okay.
and so they're
The
all living.
situation is he in jail or what?
No, he's out already. He's actually on. He made an appearance on the new season. So basically, that's basically the whole first season. Vinny chooses a girl. Polly actually ends up not choosing any girl. The girl that Vinny ends up choosing, they end up, since they were, his excuse was that they had to wait for the show to air, and then they didn't see each other during the time that they filmed the show until the show aired, and they kind of like lost touch. So I was like, I don't know, it sounds a little sketch.
I don't know, but Carlos had been hosting these watch parties at his house. I haven't seen the show, honestly. I haven't seen it. So maybe I catch
the
up.
new season is basically, it's still both of them, and then they invite a couple of like the girls from the first season that were very memorable. So they invite them to Las Vegas.
Memorable. What does that mean? They fine?
Memorable, like, well, that they were either really hot or they just had like really good moments on the show, or that people that maybe like fan favorites liked.
I get you.
So then whatchamacallit, they go to Vegas because obviously Paulie lives over there and he DJs all the time there, and then Vinny has he performs for Chippendales, I think it's what it is. So they all go.
He's a stripper?
Yeah, he's performing for Chippendales.
You're kidding me.
Nope. And one of the episodes, they're at the show there that he does.
Oh my God. What is this in the comments? Está fea. John Castro tell Larry about Maria. Who's Maria?
So, bro, he did mess up by not picking Maria. I thought that's who he should have picked. But I feel
gotta
like
watch the show now. I'm intrigued.
The girl that he picked, though, I feel like I might have picked her. No, I'm not. I would have picked Maria. But it was a real battle because I felt like she was really nice. I forgot her name. And he could have picked either one. He could have gone either way. But he brought back.
Is this like the Bachelor type of thing?
The first season was. That's what I'm saying. It was like they got to pick the girl that they wanted to date. But the second season, it's more about, it's kind of like a Jersey Shore Double Shot of Love remix.
Okay. That sounds fun.
But it's really good. Like I said, I would recommend.
What is it, VH1 MTV?
MTV.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. So then if you want, I mean, hold on. I think I can actually, if I'm not wrong, Double Shot. I'll show you exactly who Carlos is saying. He's saying to look up Maria, or to show you Maria. And lucky for you, I can do that through here. Just give me 1 second.
This girl better be hella fine. She Colombian?
She is. I think she's Hispanic. I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me.
She Colombian. I'm not interested.
Everyone.
I'm not interested.
Let me show everyone. Share my
Shout
screen.
Shout out to Colombian TikTok, by the way.
This is a girl. Her name is Maria.
She's not Colombian.
I don't know what she is.
I could already tell.
But she's pretty. Larry, what's your opinion?
She all right, but she ain't Colombian.
It's because this girl is watching. Oh, look. So this is the girl. He ended up choosing the girl over here.
Looks like she looks on that picture, right beside, to the right of the one to the left of the one that you're looking at. She looks like that porn star. What's her name? Sasha Grey. Oh, how you know? She looked like Sasha Grey.
I just named it.
She looked like Sasha Grey on that. I don't even know who Sasha Grey is, but David said it.
Well, look, the girl that's here.
She's Cuban. Right? That's why she looked like she's a wrestler. WWE. She looked like she's a WWE wrestler. That's why.
He ended up picking that other girl. But he brought back Maria to the new season over in Vegas. So it's interesting to see like their interaction.
I'll watch it. I'm intrigued.
No, it's good.
My interest has been piqued. But I'm not gonna watch it over 90 Day Fiance. I'll tell you that much.
You don't have to. 90 Day Fiance is what? Sunday and Monday. This is on a Thursday.
Dude, I don't even have cable. I steal cable from everybody. Like I got accounts that I get off the, get off the internet. I just get it on my Apple TV. I can watch TV anytime. Vinny is like 5'3". Carlos Martin says Vinny's 5'3" for real.
3.
Come on,
The
dude.
Keto
Not 5'3".
Guito.
What,
Oh,
bro? Watch party tomorrow. I'm sorry. I'm scared of COVID. Carlos.
everyone, look, everyone watching. Carlos is inviting for a double shot of love watch party. So catch up
But
and
be careful. Carlos got a new dog, and his new dog gets frequent erections. So be warned.
well, he lives by the youth fair, so everyone knows where to find him. Just in case he tries to be like, no, I wasn't doing that, or make some lousy excuse that he ran out
Carlos
of
will
money.
say he's down today, and then tomorrow he'll just ghost. So you're never too sure.
All right, one last thing before we go for OT, unless you have something else. It's one thing you brought up, and everyone could chime in as well. It's a debate here with arepas. I am Colombian,
I'm Venezuelan.
so the debate is which arepa is the better arepa.
David, I really feel bad for you on this one, man, because you're like it's inherently flawed. Like, would you want just an arepa with one topping, which is cheese, or would you want an arepa in all types of variety, right? You can get an arepa with anything that you want, anything that your mind can dream of, that your imagination can ponder. You can get it in a Venezuelan arepa. You can get eggs, you can get pork, you can get carne asada, you can get everything that you want in an arepa, and it's just a delicious mixture of maize, or you can just get cheese. So, like the same thing as the Miami rivalry thing. I don't think this is not even a rivalry, is it? Like,
So I'm gonna stop you right here now. I'm gonna plead my case. It all
wait,
depends on
are
what
you gonna talk about all the cheeses that you could possibly put on them?
hold on. It all depends on what you want, because I feel personally when Colombians when we eat arepas, it's not as a meal. It's like a side to it. It's like rice or a piece of corn. You're not just eating corn and oh yeah, that's it. I'm done for the day.
Because
No,
it
you're
doesn't have a
eating.
substance. It just
Well,
has
no, because
cheese.
that's not what it is. That's not what it is for us. For us, it's
So
like a
it's like an
side.
empanada. Basically, you're just saying it's like an empanada or something.
Exactly. Which we have the best empanadas. Anyone in the comments that wants to say Colombian
Have you
empanadas are
ever
the
had
best?
a Venezuelan empanada, buddy?
I'm sorry, nothing compares to a Colombian empanada.
This is the Colombian empanadas right here. This
And
is a
you want
Venezuelan
more.
empanadas right here.
It's not about size. It's about what's in the product, my friend.
Really? Put it up on
Colombian,
the poll.
you put, you
How
put,
many girls we got
put
in
a
the
poll
poll?
out. Colombian
Put the
empanadas
poll.
are the
On the
best.
poll.
You
We
put a
don't got
little
a poll. We're
salsa
not.
on it, some
This
picante. Oh, I'm
podcast messed
sorry.
up. We don't got a
That's
poll.
it. That's the best. So that's another day. But for this one, if what you want is a meal and you want it to be an arepa, yes, go with a Venezuelan one because, like you said, you can put anything on it. But
So
if
you're
I'm looking
basically saying if you want something real, get a
no,
Venezuelan
if that's
arepa. If
all
you
you
want
want to
something
eat,
fake,
if
get
that's
a
all you
Colombian arepa. I got
no,
you. I agree with
if
you. I
that's
agree with
all
you.
you want to eat and you want to put a ton of things in it, sure, eat that. It's like a sandwich that's gonna fall apart on you because those things don't stay in place. They're not meant to. But if you want something as a side to have, with your man, what am I missing?
Your pan de
With your
bono. What do
with
you
your
guys got?
bandeja paisa, what you're gonna have is an arepa. You're not gonna have you
First
can't
of
have
all,
a
the
bandeja
bandeja
paisa.
paisas when they include that little piece of arepa,
That
that's like an
okay,
insult to
that's
what an
here. But if
arepa
you
is.
go to
This is
Colombia,
a bandeja paisa
you're gonna
arepa
get
right,
the
like
you're
right
gonna get
here.
the
This is a bandeja paisa arepa, everybody. This is what you get with a
that's
bandeja
the
paisa
one
arepa.
here. If
For
you're gonna
that,
go to
just substitute
Colombia,
like public service announcement. Whoever gets a bandeja paisa here, substitute the arepa for toston. You'll be thank me later. Thank
I
me
don't know.
later.
So no. So like I said, boom, Carlos. Arepas are snack. It's not a meal.
Carlos is tainted because look, his picture is with who? Who does he got in his picture? He's got a Colombian. He's got a Colombian in his picture. So obviously he's gonna say that the arepas are Colombian. My girl's in the Colombian too, but even she'll admit to you that the best arepa that she's ever had is from La Coreana. Shout out to La Coreana and Doral. Shout out. Go get you some arepas from La Coreana. Una arepa
Sponsors.
that, yeah, if they want to sponsor me, I'll take that anytime. Free arepas.
So like I said,
So like a tortilla. Johnny says so like a tortilla. No, Johnny, we're not talking about nicas, bro.
exactly. They literally put like cream, and they're like, oh yeah, look, it's a meal.
Aquí,
No,
chavalo, te va a poner aquí una crema con. Nah, dude. This is arepas. We're talking about arepas, Johnny.
so like I said, if you want a meal, sure, go have that. But if you want like a side to your bandeja paisa or un churrasco, you're gonna have the Colombian one because
I
it's
feel
nice
like
and with
I
the
feel like you
cheese.
kind of like finessed your way out of this because you said under this condition, the Colombian arepa is better. But the real question is, which one's better? Not which. If you're having a snack or a little what is it? You're having an
Carlos
hors
said it
d'oeuvre. If
best.
you're having an
No
hors
one
d'oeuvre,
likes Venezuelan food, so
if you're
Colombia
having
for the
if
win.
you're having a little hors d'oeuvre, if you have a little hors d'oeuvre, pick the Colombian arepa. No, dude, it's just simple. What's the better
Carlos said it.
arepa?
Carlos said it.
You know, boss to the wall. What's the better arepa? You know, Jimmy Butler style. What's the better arepa? Put up or shut
Colombia.
up. Nah, dude. Carlos is tainted. You're tainted. Everybody's here tainted. Anybody who's Venezuelan on the chat, which we got like 3 or 4 people in the chat, tell me
Oh look,
if you're Venezuelan.
he voted Colombia.
Of
Colombia right
course,
now 1
of
0.
course, of course, of course, of course.
John chiming in with the fritanga.
I'm gonna do the Sammy, the Sam
Look,
GIF.
John chiming in with fritanga, and if I had to choose fritanga as a
Well,
meal
I am partial to fritanga. I'm
of
not gonna lie. I am
Venezuelan,
partial to fritanga. I've got a membership with El Yambo and with Morning Bowl. So,
that's the worst one. Why are you going to
dude,
Yambo?
how is El Yambo worse? Where else are you gonna get where else are you gonna get fritanga at 4 o'clock in the morning? You can't find it nowhere. You gotta go to El Yambo. You gotta see some strange things. Your life
That-
will be better for it. You'll
the
have
thing,
stories.
where am I going to get pizza for? Oh, I'm going to go to Ray's Pizza. No, I'm not going to go to Ray's
Who
Pizza.
wants
Ray's
to have
Pizza's
pizza at
terrible.
4 o'clock in the morning? If you're leaving the
Lots
club,
of people.
you definitely want to have some fritanga with some carne asada, with some cheese, with some maduros.
I'm trying to
That's
have
what
some.
you want to have when you
trying to have
leave.
some
When you leave Wynwood, if we ever get back to a normal world, and you leave Wynwood and you're partying, and I don't know, La Poderosa, or you're partying and
that place
God
doesn't
knows
exist
shots,
anymore.
you don't want to have some pizza. Who wants to have pizza? You want to have some real food. You want to have some
Ooh,
Pinolandia. You want to
Johnny,
have some.
Rio Nika just chimed
Oh, Pinolandia. Real Nicas at
better.
Pino. Chavalo, I'm looking out for you. Pinolandia, 4 o'clock, or Yambo. That's where it's at. I've seen some crazy things in a Yambo, which I cannot recite here. But at 4 a.m. in a Yambo, you will not only grow in having a fine food, but you will grow as a person because you will see things that you've never
You're
been
gonna grow
exposed to
because
before.
you have eaten about 3 roaches in your rice. So
Nobody needs to know that, man.
here Gallo Pinto. So I'm
Nobody
sorry
needs
if
to
I'm
know
going best
that.
fritanga in Miami. It's number 1. It's Caña Brava.
Tortilleria Nicaragüense, right here in Sweetwater.
No, it's Caña Brava, and then
Tortilleria,
number 2
shout
is
out
right
to
by your
my
house.
girls.
It's
Tortilleria Nica. Shout out to my girls.
What's Mary's? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I'm still Caña Brava. Still
Mary's, I think that's where they have the best steak in town. If you're looking for a steak sandwich, you go to Mary's in La Pata. That's the best steak sandwich.
my Madrones is good, but I feel like it's more of a restaurant, and I don't consider it just like I don't
Look.
consider what's the other one that's a restaurant that's really
Nicaraguan eatery. What's it called?
it's on 107th and Flagler.
I
It's
forgot.
right next. It's on across the street from Madrones.
Yeah, it's called Centro Americano. Is it Centro Americano?
No. That's on this side, but it's on the right of it. It's a Nicaraguan place.
I don't know, bro.
Well, that place it's in one of those like restaurants where I don't really consider. If I'm gonna get fritanga, I'm gonna go to a place where they're cooking it there in the pans and boom. ¿Qué quieres? Una completa. Okay. Pa.
Dude, they're not Colombian. They don't tell you. ¿Qué quieres? Una completa.
I'm sorry, I can't speak Spanish any other way. I'm not you.
Chavalo, ¿qué querés? Decime, rápido, ¿qué querés? ¿Vos sos bobos o qué? That's how they talk to you. They don't talk to you like
I just remember.
papacito. They don't talk to you Colombian.
Los ranchos. There we go, Johnny.
Oh, los ranchos. They give you as much rice as you want. The trick there is that when they start giving you rice, you just look at the guy and you make eye contact with him. And he says, yeah. And you look, did I say anything? Did I say anything? Keep pouring rice. And he'll never stop until you don't tell him to stop. That's the greatest thing about los ranchos. They'll just keep on putting rice until you want to. And you could never, if you choose to, you never want to stop.
Isn't completa what it's called? The little
Una completa just means that you want the whole thing, dude. Like una completa, everybody gets una completa.
Oh, I don't know.
The Nicaraguan ladies, they're partial to guys. They hate women though. If you're a woman, don't go to La Fritanga because those Nicaraguan ladies will tear you apart. You need to
Carlos,
send your guy. You need to send your men in to buy fritanga. If not, they're gonna abuse the women. Those Nicaraguan ladies don't have. They don't have compassion for women.
it's a but we don't say that. You're right. I was just informed it's a Cuban thing. I guess I've been to
Carlos
Palacio
a
de
fake.
Jugos too
Carlos
much.
is a fake Nica. Carlos a fake Nica. Tell him, John.
Oh man. Well, Larry, this
Dude,
was
we need to incorporate these guys into this show, dude.
well. With that, now that all of them are here, they're watching in the chat. I'm going to tease this now for whenever they're available.
Are you
Hopefully
are you
next week
proposing?
sometime.
Are you proposing?
I'm proposing something,
Oh,
and that is that I'm proposing with the gentleman in the chat here to do a panel episode of the Four Quarter Show.
oh my God.
So that means bringing you back, bringing John back, introducing
John,
the
John,
the
is
burner
his
account
grandma
Johnny,
back? Is his grandma gonna?
introducing his grandma.
Oh,
Carlos is gonna be here. Hopefully, if he doesn't ghost us again. But that is what I'm proposing. So for you guys in the chat now, I'm proposing a panel episode. You guys let me know. Hopefully sometime next week you guys are available and we'll do this.
I'm down, man. This was a bunch of fun. As long as the Heat win, I'm gonna be a good host. If the Heat lose, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be angry.
Well, hopefully they don't. Like I said, I'm going for that 4-0 sweep by the Heat.
Or give me a day off when they're not playing. And that'll be good.
That too. All right. Any parting words, Lair Bear?
Go Heat. Heat in 5. That's my parting words. Heat in 5.
All right, guys. For me, oh look, I got Johnny, first one saying that he's in.
Johnny's in. Carlos is. I'm on. I'm on.
I'm un.
I'm guessing that made in. What's the dress code? Dress code is business casual. Carlos, please come in business casual dress attire.
We know you like the birthday suit, but we actually want a real suit this time.
Business casual, please. Bring the Mika shirt. If you have the Mika shirt, you have to wear the Mika shirt. He was wearing it today. He came over to the crib. He was rocking Milka. He was drinking some Milka as well. He stole all my ice. That's why I don't have any ice in my cup right now. But Milka attire is welcome.
All right, guys. For me, the 4 quarter show. If you guys, I'll plug.
I feel like we went. I feel like we went like 6 quarters in this show.
Well, remember we had halftime and then we have OT. You never know how long the 4 quarter show is going to go.
Like triple OT. This one like triple OT.
It really did. So for everyone watching out there in the Cine Sports Talk land, we have some other shows here as well. We have there's a Met show called Put It in the Books. There's a Yankee show called the Empire 161 Show. There's a movie show called the Jader and Kyle Show where they have everyone on the Cine Sports Talk group page pick what movie they want to watch and they'll talk about it. What else?
Shout out to Tenet. Shout out to Tenet. I'm gonna watch it next week.
Ooh, yeah, I gotta watch it too. I want to watch Bill and Ted.
I'm going all the way to Pembroke Pines to watch Tenet because ain't no.
Are you gonna watch it in the theater?
Yeah, I'm watching it in theater. Dolby Digital. That's the only way to do it, man.
Ooh, you're gonna watch it?
Watching Mulan. I'm not gonna watch like Mulan at home or Disney Plus. I'm going to the theater to watch Tenet. You gotta watch that in the theater, man. It's a Christopher Nolan movie.
All right. Well, I definitely want to have you back. Well, maybe for the panel, you can tell us how that was. What else? Mainly on Tuesdays. Some other days we go off. There's the Just Too Sweet show, which is our wrestling show. And am I missing anything else?
I got nothing for that one though. Wrestling. That's not
wrestling. Me. Everyone in the chat, we know WWE is better than AEW, right, Carlos? But no, there's a lot of wrestling going on right now. And last but not least, if you guys are watching, you enjoyed the show, tune in next time. Like I said, we're going to do the panel. Should be a fun show. And give us a follow on Instagram right below. I have what it is. It's at the 4 quarter show. Give us a follow. And if you enjoy the show, let us know. If not, then just tell us how we can fix it. I'm always looking for critiques. Larry?
Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't got an Instagram. But if you got
they can find you on Twitter. They can find you on Twitter.
You got TikTok? I like TikTok.
Well,
they got a lot of Colombian things in TikTok too.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great night and stay safe out there, please.
Jimmy Buckets.